All right. Oh, thanks. Oh, wow. You've done the merch for my channel. All right, g'day. Today we're heading up to Carnegie to pick up our mail, and also it's a surprise birthday for Brendan. So we've got the kids loaded up, we've got their bikes so they've got something to ride around while we're up there. We've got the car loaded up with a couple of beers. We got the car loaded up with a couple of beers to say thanks for picking up our mail and to celebrate Brendan's birthday. Don't tell him, it's meant to be a surprise. As always, we've got a rifle in case there's anything that we need to take care of on our way. So, yeah, let's go for a Saturday drive and go catch up with a few mates, and we've also got a special guest. All right, let's get to it. Alright, so we've got a few donkeys this time. Now donkeys are pretty high on the agenda of things to get rid of out here.
I'm going to see if I can see them. They were here. They've moved forward obviously. Okay, ready when you are.
Or do you want me to just drop that one?
Hang on.
I run the risk of
Go. Go for the one behind the tree, it's starting to move. And this is the beautiful, because they are beautiful. What do we got? We got a female, a young female. And she's in good nick.
Yeah, so donkeys are a reasonable problem up here, and recently the numbers have been increasing. So you've got to get on top of them, and like this girl here, she'll be knocked up. They'll be dropping calves next year, or foals. So you've got to get on top of them quickly. But that's a small group of about...
It was about 7.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. There's at least 2 back there.
So we're going to get back in and carry on. We'll just refresh mags so we don't have a moment like we did before where I didn't have loaded mags. And we'll see how the girls are going. Yeah, that's the donkeys. Yeah, g'day Mike.
Jack in the Outback.
So I've got you a hat because I've noticed that Sam's not always, sunned up and protected.
I need a hat to protect myself too.
I might be able to find another one. So there we go,
Thanks,
there's
mate.
a hat.
Jack out the back.
we're really fortunate to be able to catch up today. We've only got a few minutes.
Yep. Yeah, I'm tipping this weather's going to keep us tied down for a bit longer than those few minutes. But no, look, mate, Sam and I, as part of our journey coming out here, we researched a little bit about Carnegie, remote stations, and lo and behold, Jack Out the Back appears in our YouTube feeds, and turns out to be something that's really valuable. And it's, in terms of what we were looking for, we noticed you've got a few followers. Obviously, people find what you do is full of value, and what we like about your style is that it's in the moment, right? It's not choreographed or scripted. It's in the moment. Information is valuable, and that's what we really appreciate. And we actually really love watching your stuff, mate. So, mate, I've got stars in my eyes now, and no, it's great to catch up and meet. And obviously in the circumstances here at Carnegie Station.
Well, it's absolutely awesome to catch up with you because, you are the target audience. Because there are some people who can't get out here, get out amongst it, and it's great to actually catch up with you and get your on-the-ground feedback because you're someone that's travelling more than I've seen of Australia, and yeah, I can share what I've got, and we can share a lot with everyone out there and those that have not got the opportunity.
No, you just got to get out there and give it a crack. The one thing for us is that opportunity. We label ourselves the City Slickers Go Outback, and as I said, your information that was available to us on YouTube certainly helped make that transition, I guess, or that experience more pleasurable. So.
Well, I'm planning on doing a trip in the next few months, and
keep in touch, mate.
I've got a few questions about your rig, so I'll be interested to find
out. Absolutely.
Yeah,
no, we'll chat about that, and like I said, we're always available. So, Great Aussie Odyssey. You can get us on most of the social medias, and just keep in touch, mate.
There you go.
All right, let's go and have a look.
Actually registered as a truck.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's 5.2 tonne, or just under 5.2 tonne on the road. So 5,148 kilos to be precise is the requirement, and it's right on that. So a can of Coke and a Twix bar just about puts me over. Fully loaded, that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's right on the money as a light truck. You can get GVM upgrades up to 5.5 tonne, up to 5.8 tonne as well, but we're right on it. We don't need to go any further, so we're okay. But if the necessity is there, then we can.
So you're driving on your C class or a HR?
So HR. So, yeah. So I've got a HR, and that's what's required. So or minimum light truck license to drive them. Did you
ever, before you did this big trip, did you do any HR driving, like road train driving or anything?
I had done a little bit of light truck, but as my previous career was a sales manager of the American truck dealership, so we drove a lot of these around anyway. But specifically truck driving, not really, other than the odd light truck. Like
dealer transfer, yeah.
Yep.
But at least from there, you would have had a pretty good perspective of people on the road.
Height and movement, yeah. So I didn't have any issues with the actual licensing drive or anything like that, because you still get driving these things even around tight yards at a dealership. You get a pretty good perspective of your left and right sides and what's going on front and rear. So you just it kind of came natural anyway.
Yep. And so she's a right-hand drive conversion.
Yeah. So full remanufacture. The GMSV bring them into the country as a left-hand drive, and then they strip them right down to the bare bones, so right down to the chassis and the engine mounts, and basically build them back up again. They remanufacture parts that may be left-hand that need to be right-hand drive through a digital printer, and then basically remanufacture them from there.
So they're mimicked, but just...
Yep.
You've got your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yep.
And in that, I've noticed a lot of your road sense where you've got heavy vehicles coming, you're on 40, you get out of the way, which from a truck driving perspective, a lot of people get frustrated with people towing a caravan having never had any experience on the road in a heavy vehicle. And you guys, with your courtesy as a good example for people, you're displaying that, and it's pretty awesome.
There is nothing probably more that I've noticed on the road is the amount of... What's that?
more frustrating.
Yeah, that's more frustrating. But the nothing I've noticed more is the amount of vehicles, tourers out there with other state registrations. So they might be in, say, the Northern Territory from WA or something like that, or on Outback dirt roads, and they don't have UHF.
Yep.
They don't have the ability to communicate. One thing that we've found is we've had a really good rapport with the truck drivers, even to the point was that was down north of Meekatharra. Truck driver actually even come up and said, "Oh, it's a Victorian that's got a UHF." How amazing is that?
Yes, we did hear that conversation earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have UHF.
But we just, it blows my mind that people just don't understand the importance of that ability to be able to communicate. But not only that,
Safety aspect.
but not only the communication, the awareness. As you say, even if you don't have a UHF, at least have the awareness that you've got a big roller coming up behind you and you're pulling a caravan. Just pull over. Don't put your foot down and try and race him up to the next stop. Just pull over and let him go through, because 9 times out of 10, those pulling the caravans shouldn't be in any hurry to be anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we certainly aren't. Whereas a truck driver has. He's paid to be somewhere at a particular time. So just let him go.
Yeah.
Be courteous.
One thing that we've, when watching your channel,
I appreciate that you
Yeah.
do watch
You
it.
watch out.
is we haven't actually gone over the rig itself.
Yeah.
Because the things that I'm interested in is, your rig.
Yep.
Then you've got, the tray, the canopy you've got. We're looking at the idea of one of these.
Mm.
I mean, I've had a glance at the MITS alloy ones, but you've also got a power system. You've got a caravan. You've talked about communications. You've got your UHF.
Yep.
Well, show us the rig.
We do have an episode where we do the rig run around and we do the van run around. But look, the thing with the vehicle is that, and the van, is the whole concept of it was set up for full-time off-road, off-grid travel. We have been on. This is our home on wheels. We can separate the truck from the van.
Yep.
So the rig itself does have the rooftop tent. It's got 90 litres of water on board, 180 watt solar panel into a 200 amp hour lithium battery, 2000 watt inverter. So we can actually go off grid for a night or two and be fully self-contained through the truck. Then the van itself, 720 watts into 400 amp hours of lithium, probably needs 600, but we get by with 400, and a 2600 watt inverter, so we get plenty of power through the van as well. If we strike sort of solars not too crash hot, we do carry a generator. Don't like using it unless I really have to, but the whole idea is that we would be as self-sufficient as we can be. So with the two of us, we can go about a week roughly without water before we start going looking for water, because water's our difference.
Yeah.
Short of that, we can stay off grid for quite a bit more time. But yeah, so the canopy is MITS alloy. We removed the tub from it and put in the tray, and the canopy in as a removable. So we can.
Yep.
So we can take it off if we need to. It's actually locked at the moment.
Is that linked into your central locking? Or?
So yeah, fully central locking. You got the key. Oh, yeah, I've got the keys. There you go. So this side's our basically our storage area, and you'll see how fully packed it is. But basically that draws all our like beach equipment, fishing gear, all that sort of stuff. That one's got my tools and extra cables and things in it. The rest of the stuff is all just needs at different times. Full-time travel. Obviously, we wouldn't carry a lot of this stuff if we were weekend warriors or going away for a few weeks or anything like that. But it's the stuff. It's almost everything that you would normally store in your garage is in this side, even down to the whippersnipper. And the other side, if you want to come for a wander and have a look.
Well, I was actually about to comment on this and say, do you carry a little step ladder so Sam can reach the stuff on the top shelf?
So we do.
I can get there, but I've got to climb up here to undo that.
Yeah. So we do have the little step. We do have the ladder, obviously, which gets up onto the rooftop, but we can also use that for getting in and out of here. But basically, with the Red Arc Red Vision system, I can see what power's going in and out and through the whole vehicle. Upright fridge, mainly a drinks fridge, or if we go sort of go shopping, we've got colds and things we need to put away. Pantry, slide out pantry, it's got all the bits and pieces that you usually need.
Now, I've noticed you got the Bushman insect repellent.
Yeah.
Which one do you reckon's the best?
Oh, look, we've come across all.
Zero Garden, I've used Bushman's, and I don't think either really work as well.
We've come
as
across
the
all.
other, but it does reduce the amount of flies that are buzzing around your
Well,
head.
it's not so much the flies we found out here. It's the bugs and like little bugs.
The
and,
red bugs.
Yeah, little biteies and
Yeah.
things like that. See, and I don't think either of those do much good for them. They might hold them off for a little bit, but yeah, it's we've come across all manner of types of bugs out here, and it's the sprays don't really work that much. So we just find better off wearing long pants or long shirts or anything like that. No one's you can't actually see in that, but that's got all the that's got like the toaster and other other kitchen utensils.
So your inverter system will run a toaster.
2000 watt inverter, and the 200 ampere lithium battery is enough for us to run a toaster, run an induction cooker in here. We run the King's food. That's basically we run it purely as a freezer with dog meat and the like in it, or extra meat we may have, but mainly for dog meat. Yeah, the system runs all that and runs quite comfortably. So it's charging when we're on the move, and we are on the move obviously quite a lot, or it's solar charging when we're stationary. And the other beauty of the Red Arc system, our travel buddy as an example is hooked into the app on the phone. So we can say put in a couple of pies now, with a view that I'll need to give them a couple of hours warm up. So in an hour's time, I can tell the app on the phone to tell this, to tell that to turn on, and then in a couple of hours' time to turn it off, and we can stop, and they'll be whatever you want to throw in there. So that works. Yeah, so that works really well when we're on the move. The ability to be able to heat up or cook a lasagna or something like that without having to even get out of the vehicle. So
That's wicked.
yeah.
Now you've taken it to some gnarly places, and she looks like she's held up well.
Yeah, apart from needing a good scrub, we've pretty much coming over from Melbourne. We did the Unadilla. We went down the Maryvale Road for the Fink Desert Race. We did the Morini crossing coming over. We did the Great Central Road, the Menzies Sandstone Road, the coastal Ningaloo Coastal Road. All of that's all heavily corrugated all the way through. Some better than others, and then of course out to here. And because we've got airbags on both, the helper bags on here, and it's full suspension airbags on the caravan, and with the bigger tyres as well on this, the corrugations that generally aren't too much of an issue for us.
Yep.
It's all about the old saying: drive to conditions and make sure your PSIs are right.
Yeah.
Since we've sort of started to make this move to come out here and out into the outback, and so here we are.
We've got so many, we've got a lot of questions, but then we've also got, so much that we can share. So, you guys doing this whole move, let's sell everything up, investment property, let's kit up and let's see Australia. Yeah. Like that's awesome. That's incredible. And we actually next year are going to do a shot through the middle.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And we're going to crack up towards Darwin.
So we've got a sort of a 5-year mud map of where we want to be for the seasons and what we want to do, and that'll cover the country. But if it turns out to be 10 years because we're stopping and doing some work along the way, and I should point out, we don't have to actually work, so we choose to do it, and that's the reason for doing what we're doing is the choice.
Yeah.
Choose to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it.
How was your muster experience?
Oh,
Loved it.
it was.
I loved it.
Yeah, we did. It was high on our bucket list, and just it was the first opportunity for us to really get down and dirty and up close to cattle, and we obviously got to fly around in the choppers and drive around the buggies and all that. It was just it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah.
It was just also the interaction, the people. We found whether they were young'uns that doing the rounds, or whether they were backpackers dropping in, or whether they were local Indigenous. We've just found everybody that we've come across down here have just been so welcoming and full of information, and we've learnt so much, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely city slickers
Yep.
from remote, and we've learnt so much.
Yeah.
Well, it would be a surprise to most people watching either of the channels if they're familiar with us, but Jasmine and I both grew up in the city.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I was born on a farm. Well, not born on a farm. I was born in the city, and grew up at the farm. But that was only until I was 10.
Yeah.
Then I was in the city, you know, only going to the farm on holidays.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now I'm out here because just, you know, literally before I came over, I was in Ballarat.
Mm.
So I was, just opposite the nice bakery there, and I was gaining.
I know where you are. Yeah, the big bakery.
Yeah. So and then straight into a whole different environment where you've got to learn everything else.
Yeah.
And it's a different way. You just got to learn to be dynamic. But I think, like you guys have just found, anyone has the capacity.
Yeah,
to do
absolutely. And Sam will attest to this. I actually said this about yourself. We're watching one of your vids when you're doing up the water tank. One of your recent ones, and I said the one thing about Jack is he's adaptable and almost multi-talented, and use the old saying, jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Where you sort of whether it's electrical or whether it's plumbing or whether it's concreting or and that's the thing about out here is you don't have to have those skills when you get out here, but you just got to be prepared to learn them.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got to be prepared to adapt, and that's what it's such a great environment to learn.
If you don't know how to do it, Google knows a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got
If you've got
access.
internet.
So, do you have internet on your
Starlink.
rig? Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
So
got Starlink, but at the moment it's tucked in under a pillow on the bed.
Oh, so you've got
so we're not fixed.
Yeah. So yours isn't a cut up kit.
Yeah. So we
Brendan knows how to cut one up.
We know all about that, and Jess has actually got a frame sitting there waiting apparently. So we have had that conversation, but it works for us anyway. Like we don't I guess miss having that sort of access when we're on the move. But certainly once we stop, we just throw the unit out, and away she goes. And Starlink's the best thing for full-time travellers in particular, or for wanting to get off-road, off-grid, out in the well away from the towns. Starlink has just been a godsend.
Yep.
So good.
And so you guys, obviously, you've got your channel, and you're taking a lot of footage, and you're editing it, and you're putting it together. So I've got a couple of questions all lined up. The first one would be not about editing at all, but coming out back, what is the most surprising thing that you've found?
For me, certainly out here, is the close interaction between all the stations, given how far apart they are. Yet it's almost like your neighbourhood street in the city. The distance doesn't matter down here, and everybody is there for everyone else. So if Brendan and Jess needed to call you or call Clinton or call Wongawal or whatever, and you guys, and they needed you here, any one of you would be here at a shot. And that's that sort of that support network and that dedication to everyone just being out here and doing the job and just getting it done is, for me, is what I found impressive, but also I guess to a degree surprising, because I mean you don't generally have that closeness with your neighbours and you are closer to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would be food. You can't waste anything. So if you've got leftovers, you try and utilise that in either the next night or the night after or something like that. Nothing goes to waste. Because you just can't pop down the street to Coles or Woolies or IGA, without a picnic lunch and a couple of drinks along the way.
What are you using for editing?
Yeah, so I use a MacBook for the editing work and Final Cut Pro.
Yep.
I've got a breaker program for Spotify Music, so I can actually pull whatever I want to allow it adaptable for Final Cut Pro. So I can search up any Spotify Music, anything I want. Now, if it then has an issue with YouTube's copyright, it'll tell me that during upload anyway. And not that we've ever come across that, but if we do, we have a couple of times. AC/DC stuff generally is. I can then remove it and change it. So I get heads up on that beforehand, so you don't sort of get caught out on copyright issues. And it's really good like that they police it and they tell you what's valid. What I generally do is Sam we'll do the put the what we call, I guess, the initial together on an app called Splice on the phone.
Yeah.
And we actually pull, basically, I'll give her all my stuff that I've filmed. And for the most part, we mainly use our iPhones. We use GoPros to a degree, and obviously the drone. But for the most part, most of our material is off the phones. I'll transfer what I've done to Sam. She'll put it together, basically chronologically, on Splice, on the app, and we can then edit it through there, and we'll do, I guess, a first run edit through there. Once we're happy with it, then we'll get up into Final Cut. Now, Final Cut Pro I use to basically pull the whole episode then together. So our start, our finish, our music and all that, and that links in, then we just, we'll go through it. We probably watch it, whether it's on Splice, Final Cut Pro, the actual, before we actually upload, we probably watch it the whole episode 5 or 6 times, and change a couple of things before we go, yep, done, flick the magic switch, and it appears in YouTube when you're ready for it.
So one of the things I've noticed with your videos, you've got really awesome graphics. Like, you know, when you've got the interactive map and you're traveling along.
Yeah,
like, I love it. I
Cool.
can't do that.
It's pretty straightforward, mate, and I can show you how to do it. So they're just apps. So you get certain, and a lot of it for me has come from talking to other YouTubers.
With your YouTube channel, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve?
So the story around the YouTube channel in the first place is probably where we should start. Is that when we sold up and we told our kids that we're done, we're out, we're travelling.
They're on their own.
Yep, they're out of the nest, and they're all adults, I might add.
Inheritance is on the road. See you later.
Yep, that's it. We're going out to spend it all.
An inheritance.
Well, we did say to them, we're going to leave you $50 and a slab of beer, and they said, well, what's the $50 for? And I said, that's to buy pizza for the slab of beer. That's what you're going to be left with. But no, look, and the question was, well, how do we know what you're doing? When we said, well, you guys are the young bucks, you're the ones that have got all the social media. So what do you want us to do, YouTubes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, let's do YouTubes then. So it was really, and people say that. Everybody will say they only really do YouTube for their own family or whatever, but it was, quite honestly, it was a genuine response to the kids' question. Yep. But I've always liked doing film editing and all that sort of stuff anyway, so we kind of just got into it, and the more we've done it, apart from the fact that it can be time consuming, there's flies, it can be time consuming, and to be honest, you probably need to do around 20 hours of material to get a sort of half-hour episode. You're probably well aware of that, although your style's a little bit different. It's more real time, and there it's happening. So, but with ours, that travel log journalistic style, it takes a lot to get half an hour episode out. We are really just doing it to record our journey and for the family and that. And if anyone wants to come along, the journey's through our eyes, and if anyone wants to come along with that journey with us, then they're more than welcome to. And that's it. We don't seek to monetize it or anything like that. So we don't get strung up on subscriber numbers or anything. We love people to subscribe because then they can follow us, but that's not our motivation. So, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, Ryan's pulled up. I might steal a beer out of the back there.
You want the iron?
Yeah, I can. How'd you go?
Yeah, not too bad.
Did you hit it?
Yeah, hit it. Only 5.
2 out of 10.
About 20 something shots. And it was about 28 shots.
Well, I heard this joke about the American Army, and it was no. Bigger isn't better.
Yeah.
More is better.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
How many shots did it take Rowan to hit it?
Oh, too many. About 20.
Was it less or more?
18. No. Too many.
Was it even pegging?
1 out of 18, and I hit 1
Yeah.
out of 10.
Have you got a beer?
Yeah, I've got another one in there.
Do you want to start you?
Oh,
No.
Axel, snuff.
what are you streaming?
This is Zytho.
Yeah, right. Never heard of him.
Yeah, no, I see it every now and then on Dan Murphy's,
Yeah.
which is how we get most of our alcohol. But actually, I was in Woolies when BWS and it was on special.
Yeah, right.
So give it a go.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Well, who doesn't like
Are
something
they
different?
mid-strength or?
No, full strength.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I drink full strength. Mid strength all the time, and then craft beer
Yeah, right. Yeah.
just to mix it up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind I don't like mixing bloody craft beer and normal beer. It fucking knocks me out.
Yeah, no, that's sort of
I had
like
a few craft beers recently and it just fucking knocks me.
Let's go. Mike's questions for Jack.
All right, nice and easy, mate. So you've drilled me. My turn now. I should point out, as I said earlier, Jack out the back is a YouTuber that we've been following since we've been making our way out here to Carnegie, because you've been a wealth of information for us on what goes on out here. But just tell us a bit. Who is Jack in the Outback?
well, yeah, sort of the origin story. Back in 2012, like end of seeding, we went, oh well, we're half thinking about getting a station. Let's do a run up to Carnegie. And from Esperance we set out because we were coming up to have a look at Prenty Downs, which we ended up buying. But yeah, 2012 was the first time I got onto the station and had a look at it and just went, oh, this isn't actually that bad. Let's, wouldn't be a terrible idea. And we'd done the whole loop around. We did the Carnegie Highway. We had a bit of fun. And it was a few years later that we actually decided to buy the station, and I moved back from Ballarat because I'd moved on from the farm. I'd started going and working with dealerships, so John Deere dealerships in their technology side, to help transition farmers and the mechanical technicians into the digital side of the agriculture. And yeah, now I'm out here and learning everything on the go. And the real there's two motivations behind starting the YouTube channel. One was because of the stuff we're doing with communications across the station, and the NBN Co were actually really supportive of us sharing the info about bringing pastoral, which is a very traditional industry, into a digital age. And the other one was my cousin JH. He's got Tomsbrook Farm as his channel, but also we grew up together, we worked together, and then we split as an operation. We had started doing videos back in like 2009 of seeding, harvest, that sort of stuff. He got into his channel, and then he had a worker, George Summers, thank you very much, who turned around and said, you should start putting more stuff up on YouTube, people will be interested, to JH. And then JH went, hey Jack, you've got your camera, why don't you start putting some of your stuff up on YouTube? And then it was, well, you're doing all right, I reckon I can do better.
Well, you probably answered about 5 of my questions in that spiel, so that was good. Speaking of Prenty Downs located south of Carnegie, how far between the two homesteads?
135 kilometres, or about 6.5 exports.
Yeah. So 135 k's, still a close neighbour. 130 k's back to Wongwall as well, another close neighbour. So that's what the distances are like down here. But how big's Prenty Downs space-wise?
407,000 hectares. So it's just shy of 1 million acres in the old money. And interesting you bring up the distance, 135, because 135 from Wongwall to here, 135 from here down to Prenty, 120 over from Prenty to Wongwall.
Yeah.
And they're all the same distance because it was one station.
Yeah, once upon a time ago.
Yep.
It's amazing. How many head are you carrying at the moment?
We are around 3,300 breeders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've just finished your muster, or still in process?
We've done one part of it.
Yep.
We've got another part to go.
One thing I've learnt, certainly watching your vids, and also since we've been up here, you guys are probably more innovative than most others in the areas, from what I gather. Your use of cameras and electronics and sensors and that sort of thing. So again, was that more out of necessity, or is it out of a view to saving time and funds over a period of time?
It's an area of interest to me. Of technology, wherever we can use it, we do. So in the world of John Deere and broadacre cropping, it was how much can we save by using technology, and it was using auto steer to increase your workable hours. It's using coverage maps so you don't accidentally spray the same spot twice, and then it was going to section control so you didn't waste even a litre of chemical. Like in the first year that we used section control, so that's allowing a boom spray to turn off and on automatically as it comes to an area that it's already sprayed, we saved enough money to pay for the system itself. So it paid for itself in the first year. And it's just taking that same lens and putting that into your pastoral operation, because here we're fortunate that we don't have bountiful rivers and creeks everywhere, that we could actually manage the water, which meant we could manage everything that lives. You know, dogs need water, camels, horses, donkeys, cattle, everything needs water. They are both the threats and the assets to the operation. So if you can control the water, you can control the animals. And so then it was just implementing each stage of being able to control and manage that water. And we investigated, you know, technology about, you know, reporting at tank level. And we went, well, that costs a lot of money. We reckon we can probably do that ourselves. And we came up with a solution.
Yeah.
And it was just dropping the cost. Like a mill run here costs almost $5,000 a week, I think it is.
Yeah, I was about to actually get to that. So 750k round trip of mill runs here, and you guys have, from what I'm led to believe, have taken to the air with yours. And this question came up from a camper just the other day, actually. So if you're doing a mill run from the air, and you see a tank that's you know, that seems to be low or, you know, whatever, are you in a position to be able to land anywhere, or do you have to then return to that later?
No, you can land.
Yeah, so you're in a position to be able pretty much anywhere if you need to drop.
We joke that every problem on the station can be solved with an ammo tin. Because everything fits into your ammo tin, because you can take an impeller, you can take everything in the plane.
Yeah, okay.
And so, yeah, it's the size of a, you know, normal lunchbox.
So how many bores are you running out there then, roughly?
33.
33, and you can land next to pretty much every one of them if you need to.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And then, you know, it comes down to how close do you want to land. You know, the furthest you ever have to walk is a kilometre, which is...
It's acceptable out here.
Yeah, out here, you've got to find 30 somehow.
Yeah, I think, as I said, that, you know, I've seen that through your own vids and what I've learnt and what I've seen here. I can see how technology and innovation in this day and age out here is absolutely vital. The ability to be able to find ways to utilise it.
Well, that's where the YouTube, again, comes into it, because it allows us, as the producer, to share directly with the consumer what it's like. You know, people miss that country cousin relationship. You know, not everyone is in the position that you are, that you can, you know, set up and go on the great Aussie Odyssey.
Absolutely.
And it allows other people to live through your eyes. So that's what this also does as well. Lets people have a look, and for us, lets us, like your channel, lets us research and go, well, actually, is that the way we want to go to get up to the territory, sort of thing?
I want to take a slight deviation. Your political aspect of your life. What's happening there these days?
Yeah, so we try to keep the politics out of the channel, but it's hard to be in pastoral and not be political.
Yep.
Because
So I've also told him he's not allowed to run for parliament until he
yeah,
gets that's it.
Yeah.
If I let him, he'd be gone.
Yeah.
So we try to keep it different, like separate, because it's this is life out here. This is the situation, and then there is a solution, and there is a political way to go through it. But it's a difficult one, because there's so many people out here that are just happy with or are scared of the systems that are there that are meant to represent them. And the thought and basis behind a lot of what I do is that, well, actually, I want to enable that be the conduit, allow that to actually happen. And I've noticed that there's a lot of politics and politicians that actually have lost that connection. And I've got a lot of friends who current or former serving members in Parliament, and they often say that when you're involved in a big party, you only get fed the information that they want you to,
Am I developing, or is that just
It's
just
developing.
a lack of?
Yeah, well, I mean,
so you
it's-
can bring that in. Just tie it in with that.
yeah. We're in Movember at the moment, so I'm raising funds for mental health out here in the Outback, and to make sure that people have got those support networks and that community, because not everyone will talk. And we've had a bit of a chat today about the closeness and the networks and being able to have a chat with people. And you've talked about the community that YouTube has allowed you with other travellers, and I think a lot of people will find that sense of community that you can have when you're travelling and you're out here in the wilderness, which it is. For us, it's not actually that wild anymore, but it can be quite daunting. But also, even for the people that have lived out here their whole lives, sometimes they have trouble, and to be able to help them reach the mental health services that they need, it's going to take money, and they don't always have the same opportunities as everyone does in Perth or the built-up areas. And so one way that we can help make a change is to donate to the Movember campaign, which is also going to be promoting a lot of men's health
130 odd Ks between the homesteads. If there is a need out here, you're often isolated. You're often on your own. And if there's a need out here, you need to know that there's someone else that's out there to support you. And Movember was a charity idea that was created. It's be a few years in the making now, and it's a great idea for men to get out there and try to grow that Mo. Now you've got yours going along
Well,
right.
I cheated.
Mine's-
I just shaved
stuck
it
on.
back, and you've grown it up. So there's a lot to be said there.
But mate, do yourselves a favour. Absolutely get out, support Movember. There'll be lots of guys who'll be running their own programs. Have a look at Jack and support Movember, guys. Get out there and do it. It's a well worthwhile cause.
And the other thing is just have a chat to a mate.
Yep.
That's one of the safest places
Are
and
you okay?
best places to start.
Yep.
Cheers. So we're back. We've made it in one piece.
Just.
Yep. So we've got a reasonable amount of mail, and
Oh, a chook?
yeah, we've got
Always come home with a chook.
It's hard not to.
It is hard not to.
Yep. So, no, Danny looked after the place while we went up, and yeah, it was a surprise seeing those donkeys. And it looks like the pets have been up to no good while we've been away. No, so it was a surprise seeing the donkeys, and yeah, it was good to take him out because they're very difficult to kill. Like, they take an absolute flogging. They will die on their feet. So, the season is starting to dry up, and the water out in the desert's going away, and they're coming into our pastoral zone. So we're just going to be on top of them.
So we didn't have the camera on a lot because, of course,
Yeah, having beers.
we were having beers and being social.
Yeah, and also a great chat with Mike and Sam from Great Aussie Odyssey. Yeah, great to catch up with them, and looking forward to seeing them again in the future. So early next year will be great. So yeah, if you haven't had a look at their channel, pop over, have a look at that, and yeah, we're going to keep you guys up to date with how we go. Right, let's get this mail out of the car.
Yeah,